Hi, Virgo, or anyone watching for Virgo. Welcome to your December 11 general reading. Let's see what messages come out for you. All right, starting your reading off with the 10 of Wands in the reverse, bottom of your deck, 8 of Wands. All right, Virgo, I'm glad because you guys kind of have a struggle sometimes, it feels like, in regards to your relationships. You're getting into a space where you're realizing that there isn't anybody that can provide for you something that you can't provide for yourself. It feels like you've had a lot of people, whether this is with work or a relationship or even friends, where they make it seem like you can't live without them or you're not okay without them. And I think this month, and I really like this for you, you're realizing that you're the best thing about a lot of the situations that you're in, and that people would be totally screwed, right? If you weren't showing up or if you weren't providing financial support or advice. I feel as though this is actually really good because somebody kind of played themselves lately. It looks like somebody was trying to control you or trying to control a situation, and you put a stop to that. So I'm very, very glad about that. But what I'm noticing, and I'm not sure if you're aware of, is that this person is going through a lot, or this situation is going through a lot. Like if you left a job, and you're still in communication with like your boss or any of the old coworkers, they might be glossing over how bad things have been since you left. If this is about a person, it looks like they're just having a really rough time. um Karma kind of hit this person hardcore, right? I think whoever this is, they didn't think that you would actually leave. They really felt like they had control of the situation. And for some of you, I just want to let you know, it looks like this person could have a tendency to be very domineering, childish, and borderline abusive. So I'm glad that you put your foot down in regards to that situation, because this person now is having to, not only are they realizing you're not coming back, but for some of you, this person has been like really acting out. And so the world is treating them unkind. It's almost like if you guys have been in a situationship or a relationship with somebody and it felt like you were always the one showing up or taking care of them. Now that you've removed yourself, a lot of bad things are happening to this person. And that wasn't happening when you were with them, probably because you were protecting them, but also because the universe knew how much of a burden that would have been on you. And so now that you've created distance, it's like you're being blessed and you're going to start healing. But this person over here, it's like everything that they did to you, it's coming back to them, probably I'd say tenfold, right? And the delay was because the universe wanted you to be a safe distance away from this so that you could decide how involved you wanted to be, right? So if you were in a relationship with this person, perhaps you were living together, nothing bad happened to this person because of you, because the universe didn't feel like you deserved to go through that, right? But now it feels like that there's this exit or this break or whatever this is. Looks like an ending to me, but this person now, it's like all these really bad things are happening to them. For some of you, this person is like accusing you of doing something to them energetically or spiritually, but it's just their bad karma. It's their bad karma, and the only reason that things weren't falling apart for them was because you were in their life. And I feel like you're a good person, and not saying that this person is a bad person, but they just have some real life lessons that they need to learn, right? So I think what's interesting is that it looks like this month people are coming towards you that perhaps you've created distance from, because they're having some really bad luck and they're hoping to get back into your good graces. For some of you, people are like apologizing, but they're not telling the whole story. They're not exactly telling you why they're feeling inspired to apologize, right? It feels like people are really rethinking the way they've treated you based on the kind of the clapback they've been getting from the universe. But what I like about this is that you're looking at them and you're like, hey, that's not my problem, right? Which is very out of character for you guys. Usually I feel as though you try to hold on to people and help people and really be a resource for the people that you love. Whereas now I think so much time has gone by it's almost like you're getting a new perspective on the situations you were in, and thinking, like I said, I was the best thing about that situation, or wow, I really overstayed something that I should have left based on the way people showed up. You get what I mean? I feel like with your obstacle, the moon, just be very careful, because it's possible that people would like you to reassume kind of that position of being a caregiver or a caretaker. And so with this moon energy, you could be wondering, like, is that my destiny? Is that what I'm supposed to do? And I feel like for some of you, that's coming around because you're getting blessed. You might be finding that you're manifesting a lot of things and they're coming into fruition very quickly. And, the main reason that's happening is because you're not being bogged down with all this weird, stuff like relationships or toxic people. You're able to really put an intention out into the universe and have it manifest quite easily. And so I'm a little bit concerned that some of you will start thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm being blessed so much. Is that so that I can use what I have to help some of these people out, now that they're going through so much? But I honestly don't feel like that's the case, right? I feel like if anything, you should look at all of these really good things that are happening to you as evidence of the universe supporting your decision to create distance from whatever this is, whether it's a job thing, a love thing, or a family thing, right? I feel like you're very excited about your opportunities. You're probably a little bit tired because it looks like you've been working a lot, or just, you've been carrying so many things for so long for other people that now that you're moving into a space of really only having to worry about yourself, it's probably like, whoa, I have all this freedom. What do I do with this, right? Or I have all this spare time. What do I do with this? I feel like something's missing. I feel like something is empty in my life. Please don't take that feeling as, okay, I have to go back and try to reestablish something with some of this stuff that I've unloaded, right? If anything, be excited about the extra time or the extra income, because you're not always like bailing your boyfriend out of jail, or you're not taking care of your ex's kids, or you get what I'm saying? You're not like having to pick up a bunch of hours at a job that doesn't ever pay overtime. Look at that and say, how can I take this energy and put it into something tangible that's going to support me for the long run, perhaps build generational wealth, or create the life that I really do want, right? Versus being confused and feeling like, oh, now I'm alone and I have what I want, but I'm by myself. It's not worth it. Don't feel that way, okay? Because the people will come, right? The opportunities will come. I feel like there could be like some guilt, right? Around like, now my life looks so good and I'm looking at all these people and it feels like they're kind of struggling. But that's, again, kind of in your mind with this moon energy. Don't allow yourself to get sucked into this Eight of Swords, where you're feeling like obligated or like it's your responsibility, because it's not. With the Magician being your why, I'm seeing that you've really done the work to have what you have, right? You were the one that showed up. You were the one that made time for your hustle, for your, whatever side hustle, degree, even when you were carrying all these other situations. So why shouldn't you reap the rewards of that? And why should you feel guilty? Because you were able to identify how toxic some of these people or these situations were and act accordingly. You have nothing to feel guilty about, right? The universe is trying to give you reasons to celebrate, to feel very accomplished in your life. I just worry that as that happens, you're going to be looking like, oh, I wish my ex was here to see this now. I wish that narcissistic parent was here, and I don't want you to fall into the trap of thinking that you have to go back and try to reacclimate them into your life or reinsert them into your wins, right? Because I feel like they were a big part of your losses. For your advice, you got the World in the reverse. So here's the thing. You can't unsee what you've seen, right? You're very cognizant of your why. Why did you separate from some of these situations or people? What was the deal breaker there? That's not going to change. Just because you're leveling up or you're being blessed, that doesn't mean that you can go back to these situations and it's just going to like be some fresh start. You get what I mean? It's time to release these things energetically, I see that you've already physically, like maybe you've already moved out of that house or left that relationship or that job. But energetically, it's time to release your ties or your feelings of obligation. For some of you, this is coming across as like survivor's guilt, right? Like maybe you got sober, but then you look at your partner and they're struggling so much with their addiction, and nobody's going to change until they're ready to change. You get what I mean? The universe is blessing you with a second chance at life, whether it's because you got sober or because you finished that degree or you got that booming business. That doesn't mean that it's your job to feel badly that other people didn't act accordingly, because I feel like you tried to include people, right? You tried to support people and really like help them, like let's do this together. And instead of them doing it with you, they actually worked against you. And that's probably why you had to make that executive decision, like, wow, I can't save a drowning person if I don't know how to swim myself, right? So stay the course. I know it's hard. The universe is actually bringing you something that's so big, you may feel like you want to reject it. So just be mindful of that, because whatever this is going to require you to have to leave your past behind. So for some of you, this is the relationship that you've wanted for so long, but it's with someone that isn't the person you thought it would be with. For others of you, this is like an amazing job offer, but it's not using the degree you paid for, right? There's something where initially you're going to be calculating the loss of something, like, man, this feels like I've lost so much. If I take this opportunity, I can't turn back. But what I'm seeing here is you're already in a place where you can't turn back, so you might as well keep going. You get what I mean? Let's take a look at love. All right. So like I said, whoever you're dealing with or have been dealing with, they're going through a lot. You might even have people saying things like, you owe me. I was there for you when you were in school. I was there to watch the kids when you were working 5 jobs and whatever. Don't feed into that, because somebody is holding like a list of what they feel like you owe them, when in reality they did not contribute to your success. If anything, they've made your success more difficult to obtain. So just be mindful of that, because somebody is like really scrutinizing how far you've come, how much you have to show for your life, and they're feeling like they should be a part of it. You could have people accusing you of like, oh, now that you got that little business, you don't have time for anybody. Okay, well, I don't feel like celebrating failure with you and sitting around and drinking all day, right? And nobody's accomplishing anything, and you're just putting all your stuff on my credit card. Like, there's an energy here of somebody feeling like without you, they're not going to be okay. So rather than just saying, Virgo, you're the biggest asset in my life, right? You can't really say it like that, but you get what I'm saying. Like, instead of saying you're the person that I desire, I need, I can't live without you, this is more kind of the energy of being like, you wouldn't be where you are if it weren't for me. So funny how you forget who I am now. So just be careful, because somebody really, really wants what you have, and they're not above making you feel bad about where you are now. And it sucks, because they know that they lost a good thing. They know that they were trying to ride the situation till the wheels fell off. Like, oh, my boyfriend's in school to be a doctor, so once he graduates, I'm set. I don't have to show up through this whole thing. I can be a pain in the ass because they're never going to find another me. Well, funny how that works, right? This person expected you to have all this loyalty to them because they were there when you were down, or you both were down, right? But the thing is like, you made a plan, you had a strategy, you worked, you sacrificed, and they just kind of were along for the ride, So I feel like this person, they would try to play on your emotions by reminding you of the times that you struggled together, or the times that you were both whatever, when you were in the same place. And it really is a way to try to make you feel like you wouldn't be where you are without them. And that's not true. Like, to be perfectly frank, and I'm sorry if you're watching for Virgo, reverse the roles. but you would be way further in life had you not had to keep delaying what you were doing to like help this person or coddle this person. Okay. Yeah. This person, I feel like you just got to be really careful. Like if this is a divorce, you could be going through court and this person is saying like, oh, well, I lent you the $10 to build your multi-million-dollar business, so I get half. You get what I'm saying? Like there's something here where this person is trying to hold you to a promise that you made in the past. You know, maybe you told somebody you'd be with them forever. Maybe you took a vow, you said you wouldn't leave, whatever. But they didn't grow. They didn't level up. You know, you said you'd be with them, not carry them, not support them. And I feel like right now that's kind of all they have left to bank on, is to make you feel obligated. So just be very, very careful. You this month might be experiencing some confusion about how to go about dealing with this situation because you care. You still care about this person. You want to see this person do well. For some of you have children together, so it's hard to see the other person that you co-parent with in a bad situation. But I feel like the universe wants you to understand that you made the decision to move different. This person made the decision to keep doing the same things they're doing. You know, so if they put themselves in a situation and now they need help paying for a lawyer, and they're like, oh, well, you wouldn't even have that business if I didn't pick up the kids after daycare. Look at it and be like, well, they're your kids too, right? And you could have had a business instead of went out and been in the streets doing weird stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, you had a vision, and I feel like this person kind of latched onto you partially because of that, because they saw your potential, they saw where you were going, and so they didn't think that you would go there without them. You know, for some of you, this person has a tendency to like cheat or do things that hurt you because they want to build you up and they want to see you be successful because it benefits them, but they don't want you to feel so good about yourself that you think you could do better. Okay, so just be very, very mindful about this. If this person doesn't get their way, I do see them being angry. I feel like this is someone that could become aggressive, so be very careful about that, right? Just maybe meet up in a public place if you need to speak to this person, because they're at their wits' end. You know, for some of you, maybe this person has a gambling problem and they owe a lot of money to somebody and they're running out of time to pay that back, right? There's a situation that this person is feeling very pressed about and they feel like they need financial support and they can only get it from you, right? So they're kind of trying to explore every angle. And if you don't fall into line with what they want, I could see this person getting very confrontational, right? Being very either overly aggressive or becoming very sulky and saying things like, well, I should just, I should just end it all, or I don't even know why I try. There's nothing left for me, right? This could go either way, or it could be a combination of both, where this person has a tendency to get mad and try to bully you, and then when that doesn't work, then they get very sulky and very victim-y and suicide-y and whatever. So just like, I don't know, this is a very tough one, but with your advice being the world in the reverse, I don't think this resonates with you anymore, right? I don't think that this person is just going to magically change because you come back. It looks like this person needs to go to some kind of therapy or rehab or maybe even get on medication. They could be suffering from like some kind of mental thing with this moon here. Maybe they're bipolar, maybe they have some like emotional mental issues that they need to fix, or some childhood trauma that plays in the narrative of what they're doing. But this person, they know what they're doing. They have several tools that they use to try to get people back where they want them to be. Okay. So just again, be very, very careful of this energy. I feel like for you, just please turn this down. And I can't tell you guys what to do, but what I'm seeing here is that not only is your advice to not allow this person to get you out of where you are, but you may need to get some kind of legal stuff involved, like, get that lawyer, get that divorce, document anything that this person is saying and doing that's weird, and get that restraining order. Because I feel like this is someone who is very persistent. Okay. So just be super duper careful. There is something new coming in for you, right? But you just have to keep moving. You're in a new place now, whether that's financially or physically. So explore where you are, because there's some untapped resources, some really nice opportunities for you. But I still see this person coming around and kind of causing problems for what you're trying to build. Okay, so just be very careful this month. Let's get an oracle card. Okay. Beware of what you're projecting, for the qualities you admire in one another are qualities you both possess. Equally so, the qualities you don't like are also your own reflection. So that's what I was saying. This person could have done something different if they wanted to, right? They had just as much potential as you, but they chose not to act on that. That is not your fault. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Forgiveness. Stop focusing your energy on the past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream, and imagine. So, I think when people play on guilt, it's because we have not forgiven ourselves, right? For perhaps the choices we made. And so it becomes this kind of open wound that people can press on to get what they want. I think it's a very good idea for you to forgive yourself for leaving this person behind or holding them accountable. And then that way, when this person tries to do all this weird stuff, it's not even going to faze you. You're just going to be like, dude, I've prayed on it. I don't hold a grudge against you. I don't hold a grudge against me. There isn't really much you can say that's going to get me out of my box and where I'm at, right? Because this is someone that tries to play on your emotions. For your financial oracle, you got attracting, not chasing. Anything or anyone you chase after will run the other way because of the fears underlying chasing energy. Instead, attract what you need by sending out love, gratitude, and welcoming energy. So you can put that into your situation however you see fit. I feel like when you stopped paying attention to this person, because this is somebody who works against you, and I feel like you were trying to work with this person so much that the universe was kind of sending out that same energy where you were failing at a lot of things you were doing, or everything felt like an uphill battle in other areas of your life. But now that you're like, hey, it shouldn't be this hard. This isn't my job. The floodgates have opened, right? Because you're not chasing anymore. Now everything's just coming to you easy. This person, however, is feeling pretty bitter about that. Kind of interesting, because I feel like when you were pleading with this person to get their life together, they couldn't care less, right? But now that you're doing something else, here they are. All right, you got love. Choose love. Let your love become a powerful force for change. So, maybe it's time to love this person from a distance, right? To hold them at their word. Like, okay, if you have all these changes you want to make, I believe that you have the potential to do that. But it's also not my job to fund that expedition. I can love you from a distance. I can support you from a distance, but you're a liability to what I'm building. You get what I mean? And if this person does love you as much as they're going to say they do, they will figure it out, because they're going to want to be a part of your life and they're not going to want to lose you. If they view you as an asset to their financial abundance, then they will replace you with someone else that will put up with their stuff. You get what I mean? So I guess either way it's win-win, but I would definitely keep my distance as much as you can, because if you're like co-parenting or going through a divorce or separation, you kind of got to talk to people, right? All right. Worthiness. Know that you deserve to receive good in all ways. I love that for you, Virgo. This is your December message. Please be very careful with this person, because they seem a little bit, a little on edge, a little unhinged. But also don't settle for less than what you deserve, and don't allow anybody to guilt trip you for being successful, because for all the signs I've been reading, you guys really do go through the most. All right, Virgo, I will speak to all of you again soon, but in the meantime, take very good care of yourselves. Bye.